everyone, Comic Reviewer here, and this time reviewing on X-Men Dark Phoenix. Now, as you know, X-Men Dark Phoenix is meant to be a sequel to the 2016 film X-Men Apocalypse, as well as the seventh and final installment in the X-Men film series. Now, the film itself is meant to be a kind of adaptation to the Dark Phoenix saga with some slight alterations. Now, the premise of the movie is meant to be about Jean Grey, who, after basically her and the X-Men saving a space shuttle team, ends up with her being hit by a kind of energy like solar flare and ends up with her powers becoming amplified and containing the powers of Phoenix. And at the same time, you also have some alien shapeshifters known as the Debris, who are led by Vok to kind of claim the power for themselves to bring back their race. Now, in case you don't know, the Debris are meant to be based on the comic book version with some slight alterations. In this one, they're basically shapeshifters. In the comics, they're basically much different. And yeah, basically are meant to be a similar version to the Hellfire Club, as well as being similar to the Shi'ar. And what's interesting is that we start to kind of see that Mystique starts to question Charles Xavier's actions, asks him, why he's, getting so in all the fame, and even questions his treatment with Jean Grey. Now, keep in mind, since Charles Xavier is supposed to basically have known what the future was happened, he could have easily explained to Beast, Mystique, about what his future self told him, and keeping and doing all these precautions. And at the same time, a lot of characters are either just thrown in or just completely sort of lacked anything. Quicksilver's just quickly dispatched and then we don't see him again. We basically feel that, Beast becoming more like joining the bad guys after Mystique's death is that kind of trope where someone you care about dies, you join the bad guys. And I feel Magneto basically being in the film had no real meaning. Because, he's meant to be a kind of counterpart to Xavier, but I feel like there were ways they could have handled it better. Now, at the same time, there is a lot of things that are either altered, changed, or just completely thrown away. Like, the other X-Men, like, say, Colossus, Wolverine, as well as Kitty Pryde and that, don't appear in this movie. And there were plans to have Colossus in Dark Phoenix that just never happened. And in the comics, the Shi'ar played a crucial part, so did the Hellfire Club. But the X-Men movies couldn't use the Hellfire Club due to First Class. And also with the film itself, it feels like nothing is really resolved. Everything just feels like, at least, it just feels a bit boring and a bit dull. And I know the director, Simon Kinberg, admitted full responsibility on the X-Men film, as well as basically pointing out that after the Disney sort of Fox merger, there was hardly any promotional material for it. And I think there were ways they could have even incorporated the costume. Like, have it that the Phoenix Force power kind of generates a kind of special flame, kind of like opposite from a costume. It could have been interesting. But no, it just feels like wasted potential. And I do kind of feel like if they could have done the film again, what they could have done was added in remnants of the Hellfire Club, have Mastermind manipulating Jean Grey into joining his side, as well as having Sebastian Saule's son to kind of get Jean Grey to use the powers to make them unstoppable. This really could have been an interesting film, but it just feels everything is thrown in at the last moment, and two other mutant characters you see at Magneto's side just play no real part. They're just basically henchmen for the sake of it. So I feel somewhere Dark Phoenix burnt bright, but was quickly put out. This is the worst X-Men film I have ever seen. It's not the greatest, not the best, but it's not the best. So, thumbs down. Comic Reviewer here, signing out.